tap into the life and times and expertise of our Nature Island Dominicans at home and abroad. From our agriculture and industry to sustainable development, resilience and renewable energy to the music, art, and entertainment industries. Join Dr. Simone Mathieu and guests every other Wednesday from 8 p.m. to 10 p.m. We examine where they came from, where they have been, where they are now, and how we can move forward together with our brothers and sisters at home and abroad to inspire and elevate our country, our economy, our people, and our youth to achieve excellence and success. Roots Connections on Q every other Wednesday night, 8 p.m. to 10 p.m. Only on Q95, our big station.
Jacob is calling his children. We're Christ, so we walk. Oh, tears, oh, to Zion.
Wanna go.
Good evening, Dominica, the Caribbean, and the rest of the world. And welcome to another episode of Roots Connections on Q, right here on Q95, the big station. Wherever you are, whatever you might be doing right now, it is always wonderful to be in your company for another episode of Roots Connections, where we feature change as the only constant. Here on Roots Connections, we feature our change makers, our visionaries among us who are not sitting by the sideline talking about what we need to do to make changes to help develop our country, our region, and our people, but they're walking the path, they're walking the talk and showing us what it takes to make those changes. So as we see, the world continues to rapidly change. So here on Roots Connections, we engage with our visionaries on topics such as the changes we should be concerned about, the changes we should be taking advantage of, and what changes we need to make in order to move our people and our region forward. So welcome to Roots Connections. I'm your host, Dr. Simone Mathieu, and this is episode 114 of Roots Connection. So we have another packed program for you, and we are very proud to have a very distinguished gentleman joining us today. If you're on social media, you already saw the promo. So the promo said, from humble beginnings as a boy in Point Michel, Dominica. And by the way, someone also reminded me that he was a student of the Goodwill School, and he will confirm that for us in a little bit. But from very humble beginnings in Dominica to being the number 2 in his entire industry in the world. So we have no other than Dr. Chester Wilkins with us. He is an international music executive, and he's also an international standard recording coder. So some very fancy words, while I was in all the research on Dr. Wilkins' work, I felt like I needed another PhD because the work he does is so intricate, but it is so important to the development of Dominica, because as we can see, the US, the UK, and so many other regions are putting restrictions on Dominicans' ability to go overseas for opportunities. So now is the time to think of how can we invest in Dominica, especially our youth. And we know so many of our young men are interested in music. And so this evening, we're going to look at why even the best musicians are not fully earning the money they ought to earn from their music. So musicians, artists, again, you want to share the live. If you know our young people do not always listen to the radio, so please be sure to share this information to the young, the not so young, and our golden seniors, because we also have musicians in their 60s and their 70s that can also benefit from this opportunity. So, but before we get started, we always like to say a little prayer for our country, Dominica, because we know that we continue to face so many challenges. We are always grateful to you, our loyal audience on the radio, wherever you're listening to us from via the radio. We also know we have a huge following on social media, on Q95 FM radio, on Facebook and YouTube, and of course, Push Past 10 on Facebook. So don't forget to click the like, click the notification so you will always know when we go live. And don't forget to follow us so you will never miss a program. Lambi, good evening to you. It is always great to see you. Thank you to you, Sherwin Norris, Mr. G, and everyone else that keeps us connected to this broadcast opportunity. So let's give a nice warm welcome to our guest, Dr. Chester Wilkins. We always like to thank people for taking time out of their busy schedule, but I can tell you, Dr. Wilkins is truly a busy man. As a matter of fact, he's flying out on a trip tomorrow. So I am so grateful, Chester, that you reached out to us. And again, we know that this is an exclusive because we know once you earned the PhD, the doctorate, you got a lot of requests to come, and we want to do an interview, and we won't talk about how much you normally cost charge to do an interview. So thank you so much for reaching out, and it kind of shows the value and the quality of Roots Connections when you decide this is the only platform that you're going to choose to do an interview. So welcome, Chester, my friend. How are you?
Thank you so much again. I am fine. Thank you, my fellow Dominicans. I'm Dr. Chester Wilkins on the show right now, right on cue. I'm here today. Open ears, humble beginning, and I thank you again. You know, we got a long friendship from years ago. So I'm definitely had to give you that exclusive. You know, so I'm open ears. You know, so I'm here. Let's make it happen.
Yes, absolutely. And for those for the folks who remember Chester and I, we go all the way back over 30 years ago when we were both steel pan players in Mr. Andre's Fanta Pan.
May he rest in peace.
Blessed memory to such a wonderful man. I'm sure Chester remembers we used to take the bus to Kinfield to go to the steel pan house, and then Mr. Andre would literally load all of us at the back of his pickup to ensure that we all got home safe. So he would take Chester to Point Michelle. He would take me to Bath Estate. He would take us everywhere we needed to go just to ensure that the lack of transportation would not be a deterrent for us getting involved with Fantapan. So we are truly grateful, and we honor Mr. Andre for his commitment and dedication to Dominica. So before we get started, I want to read a very quick bio of Chester, and then a little bit later, I'm going to read a news article about him, because once he earned his doctorate, a lot of news outlets published articles, international news outlets published articles about him. So I want to read you just one of them. But here is a brief bio. So it says, Dr. Chester Massive Wilkins is an award-winning music executive, ISRC and metadata expert, entrepreneur, and advocate for artists' rights. Honored with an honorary Doctor of Music degree, he has spent decades helping creators protect their intellectual property, maximize royalties, and navigate the global digital music industry. And again, he is only the number 2 man in his industry in the world. So we have a lot to cover this evening. But before we do, Chester, let's just get started with where it all started for you, being from Point Michelle. And if I'm correct, your mom is a famous person in Point Michelle. So tell us about your upbringing.
Well, like I say, man, I'm very thankful. You know, big up to Point Michelle, big up to Dominica, big up to all the villages in Dominica, because most of the villages in Dominica played a part of my upbringing. So I'm definitely thankful for that. Point Michelle, definitely a special place. My mom, my parents, Melvin Oboye, Vincent Boye, you know, the Mac Bonnets, definitely give shouts out to them, my aunts. definitely a long journey. Definitely a long journey. My mom is a very, very smart woman. I learned a lot from her, and I think that a lot of where I'm at in my life right now came from that humble beginning and listening. So this whole music business again start from Port Michelle. You say where it start from? It start from Sentinel School, dancing ballet. I don't know if you know what ballet is. I was a ballet dancer, and then from there, it went from trying to figure out what do the music sound, and then we end up where we end up doing pan to pan, and then it just took me to another level. Sick and you'll find. So I sicked and I definitely got where I needed to get. But prior to that, Port Michelle, stand up. Dominica, stand up. The people in Dominica, the government in Dominica, stand up. Do what you'll do. Stay focused, and we're here. We have a lot of great things happening for Dominicans. Don't look at what's going on in the world right now. Look at you. Look at your individual. Look at your neighbors. Let's bring back that love missing. They say music comes with love. So like I say, I'm all about genuineness and motivating everybody around me.
So we know that your exposure to music and culture started with dancing, the traditional dance of ballet. And guys, I'm gonna have to do a little bit more explaining when we're talking, because besides the Dominicans who are gonna be listening to this program, Chester is an international music executive, so he's going to attract international people to this conversation. So we want to make sure we're not just assuming it's only Dominicans listening. So in addition to dancing, our traditional dance, which is called ballet, tell us about your journey coming over to the States and the steps that you took into getting into the music. Because most people, and it's so interesting because we did an interview before, and I actually found the link that I sent you to that interview. And can you believe we did that interview 5 years ago, Chester? February of 2021. So I
Wow.
feel like we just did that interview yesterday, and it's already 5 years. So kind of tell us about your journey to the US and how everything took off from there.
My journey to the US, let me put it this way. I visited here, my family, my mom, I mean, the family here was great. Journey to the US, back and forth, hmm, very, very challenging.
Mhm.
Could be
In what
very
way?
challenging. Coming from a place like the Caribbean and having Caribbean parents and trying to understand culture within society, it could be very, very, very switch. So when you say, the journey of me, traveling to the US, it's not only the US, international, I did Europe, I did the whole Caribbean, I mean, I'm actually getting ready to do Asia. So with this tour that we're doing right now with Yay. But prior to that, the journey has been very, very awakening. Like there were times doors were shut in my face. There were times, even from my own people, from our own culture. Again, like I say, education and lack of knowledge and lack of togetherness can have people to the other side. But my journey, comes with taking all the bitterness and taking all the no's and trying to figure out why there's so many people who got wonderful talents and still end up miserable and still end up being without no money and generational wealth, and looking at the importance of what the music industry has done for building up communities. So my journey was really sick and spine. I'm a very curious type of boy coming from Point Michelle, from Dominica, from the Caribbean, and the people that I grew up around. Point Michelle is a place where there's a lot. Dominica also has a lot of intelligent people. I come from, like I say, a place where ballet was known. We're looking at First Serenade. We're looking at WCK. We're looking at, I mean, Midnight Groovers. I mean, you could take it all the way back. You know, even with some of the songs I hear right now, I mean, I'm like, I've heard this before. We've heard this before. Like, but prior to that, the journey has been very, I don't want to say difficult because in life that word is something that you can say it,
Mhm.
but there's nothing in life that's difficult unless you put your mind to it and make it happen. So
Mhm.
that journey to living from home and traveling from 11 years to 19, you know, being young was a very, very experience. So me missing home and being away from home,
Mhm.
you know, caused an impact mentally. But
Right.
prior to that, you know, the journey has been definitely uh, awakened.
Yeah, and we have so much to cover because I don't think too many people are familiar with the idea of coding in music. So I always tell our audience, make sure you have a pen and a paper. And what I did, I went ahead and I shared this program. All the musicians I have in my cell phone, from what's his name, Shelley to Gordon Henderson, because I know that this is information that they're going to be able to benefit from. So I want everyone to listen very attentively. We are going to go very slowly because we know that what you do, to you, it might seem simple, but to the rest of us, it's very complicated. And I don't want to miss the opportunity to salute your mom, because you said it in passing, but your mom is actually the owner of Melvina's Bar in Point Michelle, right? So a very prominent lady who has done so much in giving back to Dominica. I hope she's listening this evening, because I'm sure she, your stepdad, your dad, everyone is super proud of you for the impact that you're making on the world. So I didn't want to miss the opportunity to do so. So we talk a lot about royalties in music. We talk about registering music, but I don't think any of us are too familiar with coding. So I want us to talk very slowly about that. But before we even do, what got you interested in this particular field? How did you even know that that field existed?
Let me put it again, like I say, hard work and dedication make everything look easy. Um, I was one of the, I would say, a student that was always open to learn. You know, I started being like somebody who always went to the radio station and like was trying to figure out again like how music makes money. And I started at St. Andrews University, you know, being a radio consultant, a radio DJ. Then
Mm.
up there, like when you come from another country and you come to university, you have to. It's like like everybody has position on the radio station. I was just the kid that was more like, do you have a slot? If you don't have it, I'll do your slot. You don't have it. So 10 years me doing radio caused me to learn, you come from a foreign place and you're in a place where you have a lot of books and a place where you can elevate yourself to learn, a place where time is very important. So I use my time while I was at the university, doing radio on the radio show. In fact, I introduced Caribbean music to the Midwest.
Oh,
Caribbean
wow.
music. There wasn't so fun about soca music then, so I introduced that. So they gave me like a Friday show in a college town, and I did my best. 10 years, I learned a lot, and within that, I saw a lot of different stuff from the record label companies. They used to send music to the station, and one of my jobs was to do data entry and
Mm.
figure out the songs come in. Where you start from the mailbox. I was the mailbox guy.
Oh,
I went from the
wow.
mailbox. I went from the cleaning guy. I went from the guy that used to come to the radio station 2, 3 o'clock in the morning when the guys didn't want to do their show. It's apparently 75% I was actually living at the station, living at the station, right?
Wow.
So with that, it caused me to really study and learn. So I'm self-taught. I taught myself. So and then again in the music industry around that time, record label companies, people was getting big jobs, hundreds of thousands of dollars. musicians was getting paid a lot of money, and I was one of the guys that used to get a lot of gifts, and I still always wonder why am I getting a lot of gifts, but I was never seeing the money, and nobody would never give me the money. They would just give me the gift, and I'll be doing the work. So one day it just dawned onto me, and I was like, you know what? I need to really figure out how to really make money in this music industry because I'm here at this radio station. I'm playing Caribbean music. I'm doing the clubs. Everybody's coming up with a DJ Massive because I didn't give my name. The crowd gave my name. So I went from DJing. I went from radio personality. I went from becoming an anchor. Then I went from reading the news. Then I went from doing the weather report. It just trying to fit in where I get in. But like I said, the coding part came to me when I saw a barcode came on a CD at the station, and we had to put the numbers of the barcode in the data. And then I was trying to figure out like who's the company that gives the barcode. So I just did my research, called the company, and I was like, you know what? Can I get a job? Like, can I work for free? So they were like, work for free. They were like, we don't. I was like, well, I just want to learn, about barcoding. So I went, they taught me, and from there, I just elevated. I learned how to barcode products. I learned how to barcode a lot of stuff, and within those years, they needed someone in the solution department, and here comes me. So I run the solution department for GS from the barcode, and with that now, that's when I found out that all the music needed barcodes. So with barcodes now, it put me in a good position where I start getting paid. I start getting a lot of phone calls, and then I built a forensic company. I got like 25 people who works for me. And I give all of them scholarships. It's like I found them, train them, get them scholarship. Now they work for me. But I'm just saying this coding thing, just so that people want to know, it's the product description of your intellectual property. It's like your social security number of something. When you buy like the Corbeck bottle, the ginger wine bottle, see in there, there's a barcode at the back of it. When you scan it, it's supposed to give you the name of the bottle, where it comes from, where it's made, all that. It's the same thing like the music industry. It needs to be identified. It needs to be protected. So barcoding or coding, just to call it in the long run, is really protecting your intellectual property so that if it goes out there, it could be trackable, it could be seen. So let's say if your song is played in Africa, your song is played in Europe, and it's coded the right way under your name, under your information, that gives it where they can find you and they can pay you your residuals the right way. So there's been a huge problem in the music industry, which I never knew. And it made me a very important person in the music industry doing that. It's like I found a niche and I created a job around the niche that I found because everybody wasn't really thinking about it. But now in the world, it's like the biggest thing, like royalties, publishing. I'm doing like $50 million catalogs. Not to just to say that, but where I'm at right now with my mind is protecting the Caribbean, Dominica, the world, people who can get in touch with me, who can get in touch with my ecosystem. I'll say it like that because we have a huge ecosystem. If you can find me, protect your intellectual property, protect your music. Dominica music is considered an export. You feel me? And it's a product now that we have overlooked. It's something that needs to be very, interest to be attached. It's something that, like genre is something, a word that we need to look at. And I think that the powers that be, that are here, please have an open mind. And please, look at working with the people that are qualified to do certain things like that. Because with the music industry just coming up from Dominica as a culture, and how we've looked at culture, like that song, Pakite no po Dominica Hod Nu. Some of us forget that in our minds. So where I'm at in the world and who I've become as an executive, I may be a coder. I mean, one thing that I always wanted to do was to protect the intellectual property, not only coming from Dominica, but from the Caribbean. So, you
Yeah,
know,
and just a what an inspirational life story. And I have to take a pause here because I just want to reiterate what you said. Because not only I am happy that you are here to share on the importance of how do you make money with your intellectual property beyond just royalties, which a lot of our young musicians, they haven't even registered their music, so they're not even on the path for royalties, and the importance of coding. But I also wanted, I'm happy that you're here as an inspiration because you speak of working for free, right? You speak of being open to know. You speak of dedication, discipline, being focused. And I think what we're seeing right now is that there's so many distractions in the world that we're living in that a lot of our young people, and I speak more of our young people because, this is part of our youth program series that I'm doing with Roots Connections, where we are working on creating youth development opportunities for our young people so that they can look at folks like you and say, wow, Chester came from Point Michelle. And again, somebody reminded me that you went to Goodwill School. Nothing wrong with Goodwill School, but we know that Goodwill School is not considered the most prestigious high school in Dominica. But I want the average Dominican youth to look at you and say, wow, Chester literally created an opportunity for himself. Because I hear far too often when you try to engage with the boys on the block, what do they say, Chester? Boy, it don't have work now. Dominic don't have work. And I'm always thinking, what if the likes like Chester and the Jody Dublin Dangleband of the world all sat and said, Dominica doesn't have work, instead of I am going to create an opportunity for myself. And that is one of the things I hope to achieve with Roots Connections, that we get more of our young people to say, how can I create an opportunity for myself? So I don't want it to go unnoticed, everything that you went through, from working for free, working at 2 a.m. in the morning, begging for opportunities, receiving the no's, and still pushing forward. So what kept you motivated? And I also want to acknowledge, guys, if you want to be acknowledged for being on the Facebook and the YouTube, just drop a message. And my mom is here, Medina Senos, good evening to you, and a young man that I've been mentoring in the music industry. Yannick James is also here. So I'm happy that he's joining so he can listen to what you're saying. But what kept you going, Chester? Why didn't you stop when you received all those no's? Why didn't you stop when you realized, hey, everybody's just giving me a gift, but nobody's really paying me? Why did that not deter you from continuing your path to success?
spirituality, staying focused, and I believe I had a calling. And I mean, what is for you is for you in life, you know. But I believe that my calling is greater. That's just a start, you know. When you talk about the youth in Dominica, and you talk about, you know,
Your volume is a little low, Dr. C. Try to speak up a little bit.
yeah, when you talk about the youth in Dominica and what's going on, only thing I gotta say is be very mindful, be thankful. You know, because sometimes, you know, people be saying guay, guay, and sometimes, you know, people be blaming, you know, stop blaming other people, you know, for certain things. Be grateful, be thankful. You know, I'm thankful for a lot of things, even though sometimes things might look the way it's not supposed to be, but there's always a way. There is always a way. You feel me? Like I said, I come from humble beginning. When I sit back and I look at from Dominica, Dominica is a beautiful island. Dominica have a lot of special people, special people. Dominica has a lot of trade. Dominica is a place that, I mean, not even just saying on from the government point of view. I mean, he's doing what he can do. You know, everybody's, you know, it is what it is. But you gotta respect You gotta respect that. At the end of the day, we need to come together and work as unite. The growing I was growing up from Port Michel and in Dominica is the Caribbean is more like we always used to come together, no matter even though there was always something going on in Port Michel, Dominica. If there's a bad weather or if there's something bad in Dominica, Dominicans used to always come together and unite. You feel me? I really feel that they need to continue doing that, but also uplift the people that are doing great things. You have to do that and respect the people. There's protocols. There's a process. Like I said, Dominica has of a lot of great artists. There are a lot of artists in Dominica that I speak to daily on the phone, and there are artists in Dominica that are huge that travel around the world and telling me their issues and their problems. And when I try to explain it to them, it's more deeper than that. So I'm saying there is a if not if when when I can figure out the issues and the problems that are going on in the courts in the Caribbean because it comes from a higher place. You feel me? From the judge. It comes from, the royalties. It comes from the payment system. It comes from the different laws that are set up in different areas because of lack of knowledge. Things are different now in the music industry. Things are different business wise. So I'm just saying to if you are there and your ears are open and you're looking at putting any intellectual property out, which it could be music, it could be movies, it could be artwork, make sure that you at least have a barcode. Make sure you at least your paperwork is put together because what can usually happen is I don't want to be going to another country and hearing example, Booyah music is generating a lot of streaming online, but then when it comes to residual income, there's a problem with expectation because of not packaging properly. So I'm saying is let's package the whatever is coming out of Dominica properly so that whenever it gets on certain application or certain stages or certain platforms, it's being treated like everyone else. Everybody gets what needed for that. So my take on it is intellectual property protection, finding out what is the IP going on, and let's look at who are the people that are put in place in Dominica to have a meeting with them and trying to find out, listen, to find out what are the issues, what are the problems, and how we can maneuver and work in cohesive together.
Yeah, and we're going to talk about the issues that you've noticed with Dominica's music, especially Booyah, in terms of it not really being registered as a genre of music, and how can we improve? We see another musician just join us, Mr. Carl Kofi James. So we know him from Root Stems and Branches, right? You should know who Carl Kofi James is. So it's great to see that the musicians are paying attention. And guys, don't forget, if you want to be acknowledged from being here, Alvin Thomas, great to see you. Go ahead and drop a message, just saying hi in the comment section. But if you just tuned in, this is Roots Connections. We're here with Dr. Chester Wilkins, and we're talking about why even the best musicians and artists continue to lose thousands of dollars and what can be done about it. So I want to just spend a couple more minutes, Chester, on your journey, because it is so inspirational that I want to make sure that we're inspiring the young people to follow a similar path. So you went through all the rejection, you went through all did you have any doubts? Did you deal with any doubts that, this was not going to be possible, that maybe you should find, quote unquote, a regular job? Was doubt a part of your journey?
Yes, it was. But like I said, when you come from an island that you learn, how can I say, I'll put this, you learn something where they call it um, trades. You learn certain trades in your life. You can use those trades and in different places in the world. So me being in the music industry, like I said, a lot of doors closed in my face, but also me working with teams. Team is very important. if you have a right team and you have the right people who understand, a lot of things can happen. So my journey, I have a lot of stories. I have a lot of stories. Catch it on the book. I have a lot of,
You should write a book.
I mean, even there are people right now that I'm working with right now that a lot of Dominicans look at them like they are the stars, and these are people who sleep on my couch. These are people who actually that have helped made millions of dollars. I mean, right now, I mean, I don't even want to even, because when you sign NDAs and you're on the non-disclosure, and you deal with a lot of attorneys, and I teach CLE to a lot of lawyers, which again, a lot of entertainment attorneys in the Caribbean, you need to definitely look into the CLE program on IP, digital law, because right now, with the whole metadata and the whole royalties out there, if you don't understand the metadata world, even though you're an attorney, you still have to take the CLE to understand.
And I know you use these words all day, every day, but I'm going to do the translation for our audience that is not familiar with what you're talking about. So that is when he says CLE, it's continuing law education. So keeping lawyers abreast of the developments in the music industry and what they need to know in order to advise their clients. But before we go forward, Dr. C, I just want to give our audience a sense of the caliber of person that you are, because so many times we take our Dominicans for granted, right? Just because it's Chester from Point Michelle, we don't say Dr. Wilkins. We don't acknowledge the fact of everything that you've done and where you are. So I just wanted to read this very quick article from the St. Vincent Times, and it says, Dominica's Chester Wilkins awarded honorary Doctor of Music. So it says, a Dominican-born music executive, Chester Wilkins, receives honorary doctorate. Hold on, let me make sure I get the full message. Let me make sure I get it real quick, because I want to acknowledge you for your tremendous accomplishments. So Dominican-born music executive Chester Wilkins receives honorary doctorate. Dominican-born music coding expert and creative executive Chester Massive Wilkins was on Saturday, 22nd November 2025, honored by Upper Room Theological University of Fayetteville, North Carolina, with an honorary Doctor of Music degree in recognition of his outstanding contributions to music, digital rights management, Caribbean cultural promotion, and global entertainment innovation. The degree was conferred during the graduation ceremony at the university, where Dr. Wilkins was acknowledged for his pioneering work in ISRC, International Standard Recording Coding, and his leadership in facilitating revenue streams and rights productions for artists globally, including a particular focus on Caribbean creators. His decades-long commitment to bridging technology, creative culture, and intellectual property make this honor especially appropriate. The Iowa-based Dr. Wilkins is widely respected as strategist and entrepreneur, advocating for fair compensation, digital transparency, and empowerment of artists, especially from the Caribbean region. I love how they keep saying the Caribbean region, Dr. C, because you're invested in your own. He has been on music and IP intellectual property panels from New York to Trinidad to Chicago, most recently at the National Bar Association's Centennial Convention as a presenter on the entertainment industry and artificial intelligence panel, alongside notable legal minds, including fellow Dominican Bernice Lawrence, an entertainment lawyer based in Atlanta, Georgia. Through his company, Know the Codes, Dr. Wilkins has trained dozens of lawyers across the U.S., on ISRC coding and metadata as digital advancements continue to impact the music industry and the lives of their clients. Receiving the doctorate of music signifies more than a ceremonial accolade. It reflects Dr. Wilkins' consistent fusion of artistry, technology, and advocacy. Dr. Michael Neely, an Atlanta-based music manager and former A&R at Def Jam Records, said he was proud to recommend Dr. Wilkins for this honorary degree. He is understanding, he is very intelligent, and he's capable of doing everything he has mentioned. Dr. Neely, who received an honorary Doctors of Music in 2024 from the same institution, added, "I have witnessed on the sidelines how he interacts with people. He doesn't gatekeep, and he's always teaching others, including myself. To receive this honorary doctorate is humbling. I accept it not only for myself, but on behalf of every creative soul from Dominica, the Caribbean, and beyond, who has believed that our music, our culture, our stories belong on the world stage," states Dr. Wilkins. He continues, "My role is to help creators protect their work so that they can monetize their talent and earn the royalties that they deserve. Dr. Wilkins intends to leverage this recognition as a springboard to expand his mentorship of Caribbean professionals seeking careers in music technology, rights management, and digital entrepreneurship. He hopes in 2026 to host and continue his training and legal minds for ISRC coding. Dr. Wilkins is the son of Winston Wilkins, deceased, and Melvina Boyer, owner of the once popular hangout spot Melvina's Bar and Restaurant in the community of Point Michelle. He's the stepson of Vincent Boyer, who helped raise him." You know, Dr. C, I know you're a very humble guy, so I know you're sitting over there cringing, like, why is she reading all this information? But we have to give you your accolades, and we have to give you your recognition. And the question that immediately comes to mind, yet another musician has joined us, Phil St. George, Sir Chester, they're all showing up this evening. Where's Gordon? Gordon should be here as well. The question that immediately comes to mind as I see the number of times the Caribbean is mentioned in everything that you're doing is, why not pursue your path and leave the islands behind? Because again, we're going to talk about all the challenges that you have faced trying to work with our Dominican musicians, but so many other Dominicans have gone overseas, have become incredibly successful like you have, and have left the islands behind. They've changed their accents. They no longer want to be associated as being a son or a daughter of the soil, and they've moved on. Dr. C, why haven't you moved on?
It's different for me. You know, it's different. I was one of the kids in Dominica that I've seen a lot.
Mm-hmm.
And the generation that I've came from, my generation, it's we actually the ones that that are doing a lot of the big moves right now.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
So you know, that's what I was saying about, you know, not you know, just giving everybody their flowers, but you have to give people that are making moves their flowers. And even though times are bad and good, you gotta respect whatever is going on.
Mm-hmm.
So with me and me being from home, and you asked that question, I come from a place where it's not even, we cannot blame our parents. We cannot blame, you know, Dominica. We cannot blame the Caribbean. It's just times, you feel me? Like they always say, if your parents don't know better, or if they wasn't taught the right way, that's what they know, you know. And one thing that I always said when I left Dominica was one day that, you know, me returning back home definitely is about you know, motivation. You know, it's about, you know, enlightening. It's about generational wealth. It's about, you know, keeping hopefully a balance and the way I can. Because at the end of the day, we are not perfect. We are not, you know, we can only do much as that we can. And then you had brought up something a while ago when you were speaking, you were saying a lot of people don't know who are really, you know, the level. Um, I've learned that sometimes it's good for other people to tell you that, you feel me, than me saying it. But I've been in a lot of books. I've been a lot of news. I've been a lot of, I don't look at, but the way I see it, I don't see it like that. I see it as, you know, I'm from home, and that is a hope so that somebody else can see, hey man, if he's doing it, I can do it too. You feel me? Just like when I watch, I'm gonna be upfront with you. When I watch, you know, the what's going on in Dominica and the governance in Dominica, I look at, whoa, I can do that. You feel me? I can do that. Oh, you can do this? Oh, I can do it. So I'm saying to the youth of Dominica, don't give up. Stay focused. Work with who you can work with, and always believe there's a hope. There is a hope. Don't ever think it's not. The Most High, if you're a spiritual person and you believe in the Most High and you stay focused and you don't get into all that extra stuff going on, something is going to give to you. Something is going to happen for you. Something always will happen. Because most Caribbean children and most Dominican kids, a lot of them are blessed from a higher being. So to ask again, yes, I'm a very, very important person in the music industry. When I travel with security because well, I got provided securities because of the high end clients that I work with. So when you're dealing with clients that doing 50 million, you know, 20 million, and you know, it comes with that. So my travels, they're more experience for me. And where I'm at right now, a lot of big celebrity people, they come up to me, want to take my picture. They want to be my friend. So I'll be like, wasn't I supposed to be taking your picture? But when I start realizing that, then it just dawned onto me, and I don't really go nowhere. I go where I need to go. I don't really leave my house. I'm very, you know, I'm a hermit. I stay home a lot and read. I only go where I need to go. But prior to that, the world has said that I am number two. I didn't say that I am. It came from, you know, me coding over. I coded over 50,000 songs in the world.
Wow, that's a lot.
You know, like I go to clubs and restaurants and songs be playing, and I'll be telling my friends and them, you know, I did that, and they were like, no, you did not. And I take up my phone, I'll be like, here, this is the information. They be looking at me like, so why you don't tell us that? So I'm saying being humble. And you know, like me from Dominica, I used to always every day to tell me, boy, you both star boy, you both star boy. So I was like, I don't want to be both star. Let me be the guy that let me
Yep.
stay quiet, learn what I need to learn, stay out the way, and just make moves but impact quietly.
Yeah, and keeping your head down and doing the work, because and I hope that is something that I have taught Yannick James, aka Classic is his stage name, and I hope that is something that I have been able to relate to him as we've been trying to, you know, give him a lot of publicity. And I'll link you up with Yannick. He's such a promising young man. But one of the things I always mention on the show, and it works for me in my own personal life, is nobody owes you a favor, right? Because I think what we're seeing in Dominica, and most of us can agree, is that there's this dependency mentality that is crippling our people. Because so many people see their parents going to beg for their daily bread, that what they are learning, because my mom is on the live and she knows I always say we live what we learn and we learn what we live. So if you didn't see your mom being so industrious, Dr. C, and all the other people in your life picking themselves up by the bootstraps and saying, no, I'm not going to go beg nobody for anything. I'm going to do this myself. So it is natural for you to be successful because that is what you grew up seeing, right?
It's a crazy that's gonna intervene. If I tell you some of my journeys and my stories in Dominica, you would shock. I mean, I have done maybe 75% of most of a lot of the stuff the youth have done in Dominica, maybe even beyond the time that I've been at. I sell fish. I climb coconut tree. You hear me? I put my toe. I've been in Dominica where, you know, I've always respect my elders. You know, like if you pass on the road and you don't say good morning or you don't say good afternoon, you know, I come from that time where we were more strict. We were more like, you gotta be home at a certain time in Dominica. Like you know, our upbringing, well, I think our generation was a generation that was really like, we really got it really, I don't want to say hard, but we got it in a way where
the strictness made us straighten our backs, Chester. That's what it is. Our parents were not our friends. They were not trying to be our friends. My mom is on the live. She'll tell you. The strictness made us straighten our back, walk straight, greet the elders in the neighborhood. Because if you didn't, by the time you would get home, they had no cell phones. But somehow your mother would know that even if she was having an issue with someone, you walked and you didn't say good afternoon to Mrs. So-and-so. No cell phone, don't know how she found out, but you're going to get a licking when you get home, because even if your parents have an issue with somebody, it's not your business. That's grown people business. You are a child. You have to say good morning. So that is what raised us.
Again, respect comes a long way. A lot of
discipline
fail to have that respect. But again, too, man, you know, you cannot, Dominica, the Caribbean, you know, with the natural disasters, you know, what just happened last couple of years, a lot of people in Dominica are still dealing with certain traumas. You feel me? And you cannot, some people take time. Some people, you know, can react better. What I'm just saying is, we're not saying hope, saying that word hope. I'm just saying there is a better way.
Yeah, absolutely. And of course, as Dr. C was mentioning, not being able to talk about his clients, and he talks about NDA. So I'm doing the translation for this program today. So these are folks that he has a non-disclosure agreement with, NDA, which means that he cannot speak openly about his clients. He cannot speak their names. He cannot speak what he does for them, because he'll be sued. So that
I'm gonna say me.
Saying any names.
That's crazy to say. But me, I can speak on a lot of clients. I don't. I mean, my NDAs with my clients are more like internal affairs, like their internal business. But there's a lot of artists. I mean, you can name it. I just put down at my wall. I had a whole bunch of plaques on my wall. We're moving to a whole, because we're getting ready to go back on tour. So I'm just saying, because I do like tours, like I would pop in certain in cities with some major artists. Right now, we're doing the artist that I'm working with right now quietly. He's doing at least 100 million a night.
But so whether you can speak of them or not, we're not going to pressure you to name names, because we don't want no issues. But let us go over to the studio very quickly, and we're finally I wanted to first to really explore Dr. C's journey, because again, I want to make this a two-part program where we're being inspirational to the young folks on the live, like my friend Yannick James, who's paying very close attention and learning so many lessons today. But we're also going to talk about the money in the next segment of the program. So again, if you tuned in late, we're here with Dr. Chester Wilkins, Dominican-born executive music producer, music coder, and we're going to talk a little bit more about everything. His company is Know the Codes, so you can already start looking him up. And we're looking at why even the best musicians and artists continue to lose money because they're not taking some important steps, and what can be done about it. So let us go over to the studio. Lambi, you can invite the callers to join in, and then Dr. C, when we come back, we're going to jump right into the terminology, starting with what exactly is coding.
Roots and Q, taking your calls at the moment. The numbers are as follow: 449-3095, 449-3096, 449-3097, 616-4257. Those are all local numbers. The international or overseas number is 305-432-9624. Let me run those one more time. 449-3095, 9697, 616-4257, local numbers, of course, and the international or the overseas number, 305-432-9624. Back to you, Simone.
Yes, thank you. And so we have my mom. She says, good morning, Mommy. It's good evening. Good evening, dear Rose guest listening. She's like, good morning. No, this is not about good morning WhatsApp message. Yannick James, he asked, make a note of this question. Chester, he asked, would you represent an artist as their barcoder and data entry client? So make a note of that question. Alvin is here with us. Alvin Thomas. Good evening, Simone. I am also here listening to this young man, fascinating story. Carl Kofi James, greetings and thanks for the info. Big Bobby Durand, hi, Dr. Wilkins. Yannick is learning a lot. Carl says, thank you. Philson George, also a musician, says, good evening. Carl says, bless up, Lambi. Let's see. Philson says, congrats, the very best on your achievement. And he says, you never forget where you come from, proud Dominican. And he says, love it. Let's see, Shari, Tiana Georges. Yes, bro, Wilkins Chester. And let's see who else. Yannick says, I am humbled. And yes, I am applying everything you told me in my career thus far. And so, Yannick, I expect great things from you because you're truly following a very important path, and I'm always going to continue rooting for you. And Philson says, yes, I remember those days. Big Bobby Durand say, congrats, Chester. So, yeah, so I think we will get to Yannick's question when we talk about your work with Dominican musicians. But the first thing I want us to look at as we now talk about the business of music is very slowly. Remember, this is all very familiar to you, but to our audience, it's speaking like Mandarin. So you talked about the code, the barcode on a CD. So tell us exactly what is coding, because now, as we know, a lot of music has gone into streaming. So we no longer have barcodes on CDs. So now, how are you coding music, since most music now live streamed? So tell us about that.
Well, you think about going to a store and buying a product. Okay, when you go to the store, let's use Astafans, because I don't know. I've been here in Dominica a lot, but let me just make it broader. Think of when you go to a supermarket and you buy a product. When you buy that product, it has a number on the product. It's worth something. That product now has a product description. It could be a meat. It could be a fruit. It could be something intangible. It could be a commodity. It still needs a number. If you're shelving something, you're putting something on the shelf, you have to have a number. It could be number one, number two, number three, or we have this product on the shelf. It has a number. So I'm just saying barcoding is really putting product description on something that you have. On the music side, the writer, the beat maker, you feel me? All these are you have the publisher and you got the producer. You got two people, or sometimes you can have a team of writers who would come together and put together some work. Let me use Calypso as an example. Calypso is huge in Dominica. It's one of the biggest shows in Dominica prior than the World Korean Music Festival. Where every once a year we at least that's one of the biggest show in carnival time. Yes or no? Always has
Oh, yeah.
Calypso, always been. So, but think about it. Think of all the Calypsonians that done came and gone. Let's look at Mike, let's look at Sparrow, let's look at Aaron, let's look at all of them. If you look at some of the music, a lot of the music has been out there, okay? Huge, big, playing all over different parts of the world. If you sit back and you look at some of them, have you ever seen their living, some of their living qualities and the way their legacy, some of their legacy, their all the work they've put in and how their legacy have been? Look at how many people in Dominica who've done a lot of great work, and sometimes we forget who they are. They put in a lot of work. Like I give an example. We are talking about um, like soca music. We're talking about booyah music. Booyah music has elevated. You know that, Simon. It's elevated. I mean, you have a different generation. You have a different ear of people, a different sound. We're in a digital era. So putting something out there that you make, you have to protect it. And with Dominica, when we're talking about putting music out there, Dominica, a lot of artists in Dominica now are starting to realize, those who catch on are starting to realize that they can make residual income from the music industry. What they do when they get their money, I cannot say, but I'm just saying there needs to be a better practice. There needs to be certain things put in order. If we are doing it for the United States, if we are doing it for different parts of the world, I really think that the Caribbean needs to awaken and see, hey man, if I'm producing something and it's coming out of the Caribbean islands or coming out of Dominica or going for the diaspora, I want to make sure my name is properly done. I want to make sure, you feel me, wherever I come from, my information is being protected. So coding is really protecting the intellectual property of the persons making their creativity. Because a lot of us create things and we put on the internet. Sometimes it will go viral. And then what if it goes viral and then you go to the bank? You go to the bank and they'll be like, okay, do you own this? Do you own it? Is it yours? Oh, I made it, but can you prove me? Can you show me on paper that you own that document so we can pay you? So coding is very important. Metadata is very important. You cannot go, you just cannot go. And a lot of Dominican artists, every song you putting out, put before moving forward needs to be metadata coded.
So tell us what is metadata.
Metadata is the product description that you pull on the song. Let's say like, okay, I'll use like you called him a while ago there. He does that music. The one
Gordon
we talked-
Anderson.
Okay. Very great artist. Very, very great artist. You know that Mr. Henderson is his music hasn't played in the United States. His music has been played in Paris, in France. And you know that actually sitting back and watching from a business point of view, that I would say 75% of his internal business needs to be looked at. I'll give you, I'm gonna bring it down the line. I'm gonna bring it down the line for you. You gotta give Mr. McMurray his flowers. He's doing a good job. I mean, he can only do so far because we're in digital era. But let me just bring you up more to speed. There's a lot of artists in Dominica right now. Look at Shelly. Big up to him, Signal Band. Doing your thing. Definitely doing your thing. Look at the way he structured his business. Look at the way he's doing certain things. A lot of Dominican people need to pay attention and watch how they structure their business. But still, internally, we have a problem. A lot of people not receiving their royalties. A lot of people not receiving their publishing. A lot of people, music are out there and it's not being protected properly. So if the metadata is put in right, let's say like if you have a song, the song have a duration, the song have a producer, the song have a band player, the song have a guitarist. Everybody that made up the song is part of the metadata. And there are people that might come to a studio, like I'll give an example. Let's use Dice as an example. We have Pat Aaron. Pat Aaron might write a song, help Dice write a song, okay? If that song is not published, if that song is not metadata properly, or if it's not put in the right PRO system, then Pat Aaron and Dice gonna have issues receiving publishing. If the song is not registered properly, saying that now that the Calypso is so big, if it's not put on the platforms properly and registered to the right platforms, then look at it. Think of it again. Look at how many artists in Dominica, in the Caribbean, who has more than 1 million views on YouTube. Ask a question to them. How much of them is receiving money from YouTube? Maybe because of the system, maybe because of the IP, maybe because they never set up certain bank accounts to receive money. So I'm saying it's not just only about the music industry. It's about the internal, what's going on in the different islands, in the hubs. You feel me? I call again the powers that be. If we are looking at enhancing the intellectual property that's coming out of Dominica, please reach out to the people that are doing this. Because at the end,
but just I don't want to interrupt you, but I think the biggest obstacle we're seeing in Dominica is still music is not seen as a career. So I know a lot of our listeners and viewers are saying, this sounds really nice, getting residual income, and that's just like revenue from your intellectual property, what you've created, right? But we have to look at the bigger problem, because I know one of your passions is trying to work with the powers that be to create a system where more Dominicans are benefiting from the music that they're producing.
You asked me, I'll tell you. Yes. How can we be pushing Bouillon and it's not a genre?
Yeah.
How can we be pushing Cadas and it's not a genre?
Yeah, and let me explain that to the audience, because what you're saying, because people might be thinking, but what are you talking about? Of course, Bouillon is a genre, and of course, Cadas is a genre. What we are talking about here, guys, is the fact that with Chester's experience, he knows that Bouillon music and Cadas music are not registered as a genre of music in the music industry. Is it in the US, Dr. C, or is it worldwide? So while we're calling it a genre, we have not done what is needed to ensure that it's a genre like other genres of music. So give us an example of a genre of music that is well registered in the industry, Dr. C.
Reggaeton.
Okay.
I just use reggaeton. You feel me? Soca music is on the SOC. You have to know the genres. Bouillon, right now, Bouillon is the government of Dominica. There's certain things that needs to be put in place so that Bouillon can become a genre. There's certain things that need to be put in place so that Cadas music, even intellectual property coming out of Dominica, because it's considered an export. It's a product. So if a product is going to come out, or if we put out a product out there to the world and we're looking at making money, yes, we have to protect the product and package it the right way. You remember, like, a lot of Dominicans people be going to different areas and showing off Dominica nature, okay? Some of the products they're showing, it has to either be barcoded, it has to either have product description. It's the same thing like the music industry, nothing different. We just have to be more knowledgeable, and we have to follow the protocol, and we have to embed the right process. If we don't do that, we're gonna be 5, 10 years behind. Because right now, what Buyo has done and what we've seen happening to Buyo, look at the Caribbean Music Awards. I mean, if Buyo music is so recognized, why isn't Dominica big on the platform? We give you another reason again. We are one of the biggest roots reggae artists from Dominica. Look at it, look at the artists. Look at where the artists at, and look at what's going on. If we follow protocol and we follow process, then certain things can happen. It goes crisp on the board. If I'm gonna if I'm gonna book an artist, there's protocol with an artist. I'm not gonna book an artist and he don't have his travels right. He don't have his accommodation properly. He's not getting his per diem properly. He's not getting his money properly. He don't understand whatever it is. He don't have the right team. Where do we stand?
And tell us, because you did tell me what it would take to ensure that Booyah is registered correctly in the music industry. What is the process for doing so?
Right. Well, right now, it's not only Bouillon. Cardas is one too.
That us as well.
But the government of Dominica, the people that's in place, there needs to be a certain documentation that needs to be put in certain hands. When that document is put in certain hands, it has to be registered. When it's registered, you got to remember different IPs, different countries have different ways of registration. In the United States, as of now, I really, really believe with what's happening right now, right at this moment, right now, we need to protect the intellectual property that are coming out of Dominica. Because Bouillon music, when I brought Bouillon music to the record label companies 10 years ago, they didn't want to hear this. They didn't want to. They were looking at me like I was crazy. Like, nah, bro, what are you doing? Like, you're taking different songs, and they wasn't that interested. Now, they want it in Vegas, which actually tomorrow. That's one of the reasons I'm going to Vegas, because we're introducing Bouillon music to Vegas, but we're doing it for like the big artists. Like we're doing hip hop with Bouillon, because a lot of the big artists, they are now catching on the rappers.
Wow.
They're now catching on to Bouillon, and they're like, whoa, we love it. You know what I mean? And I definitely applaud High Speed. He did his thing.
Yeah, I was thinking the same thing, because he was just mesmerized. He was just, like the spirit of Booyah just like caught him and enraptured him. And he was just like, what is this? It almost felt like his ancestors were feeling the beat of the drum, and you could see in his embodiment how shocked he was by the power of our Booyah music to move him. And he was just like, oh my gosh, what is this? And he was so enthralled with it. But before I forget, Dr. C, have you approached the government about what you're talking about in terms of the correct registration of Booyah and Kadas music on the international stage? Because we're very quick to say Booyah to the world, and we are happy that Booyah has invaded the world, but the structure is lacking. So have you approached the government on this?
My answer to that is I have spoke to some of the people that actually, hopefully, supposedly, around whatever is going on. But if you don't have an open mind, and if you don't understand the importance of the culture, because the music industry, it's a business, also culture. And if you don't really take it lightly, it can run over you. So when you ask me a question like if I've ever approached the government on music, no. On branding, the World Queer Music Festival, I was one of the first person who sold the merch. I brought the merch to Dominica. World Music Festival online store. And Dominica, that was, I mean, that was a money making. I mean, merchandising, online sales. Every festival has an online store. So I'm just saying, like, there are a lot of things that were brought to the people that were put in position. And like you say, you can only work with certain set of people, and people are going to be who they are. But where I'm at right now in the music industry, and my experience, even with the World Career Music Festival, I I I I look at it as something that has been put together for years. It's a brand. You feel me? It's a festival, world-renowned festival. I believe that from where it's at right now, a lot has been done. I just feel like there's still a little holes that need to, tighten. Still a holes, because the festivals that we do and the production that we do and the things that we do, I mean, it's on a whole other level. But just see it every year and the experience of the festival and what's going on, I believe again, the government of Dominica, take this with an open mind and look at it as something that can bring not only residuals to the country, but it can enhance with importation. When people coming in, that's it. But the answer to that is no.
Yeah, and the concern, and I'm so concerned about this lack of registration in the music industry. So it begs the question: can someone else register the music as their own? Is that something we should be concerned about?
They've tried, and I've stopped them. I've stopped a lot of people
That's a
trying to register
concern.
people. I have, because when you run in a solution department and you see certain things come in, there's certain things that you have to put down. The government of Dominica, the people of Dominica, they own Buyo. Just put it like that. CADAS is owned by Dominica, is owned by the people of Dominica. So registering Buyo, it would have to be with the government and for the people of Dominica, because it's an export, it's a product. And they really, I just hope that we move very cautious, and I hope that we move in a certain way, because registering Buyo music can enhance major residuals, major money,
So you
major
get
money.
more money if it's registered as a genre. Is that what you're saying? Oh wow, wow, wow.
More recognized, more in the system, more you can fight, not really fight. You can put yourself in position to receive your mechanicals and your publishing. Right now, music is okay. Watch a lot of the Booyah artists right now that are out there, and give flowers. I give flowers to Asa Bantan. You're doing your thing. I give flowers to Rich. You're doing your thing. Everybody that's calling out. Everybody that's doing their thing right now in the Booyah, raise your hand up for real, because it's needed. It's really needed. Don't think Kenny G. Big up yourself. All everybody that's doing their thing, do it. Only thing we're saying to you all is be very mindful. Be very mindful, and look at what we're putting out there. You feel me? Because some of the things that we put out there, it may look like we're making money, but also there's a repercussion that comes with that. You feel me? Music is life, music is love. Booyah is booyah. We've been listening to booyah from small. It is what it is. Let's just package it properly, and let's protect the intellectual property, so that like minds and people who, even Gordon Henderson, a lot of his work is done. You don't want his work going to vain. Nasir Fontaine, another big artist from Dominica. I work closely with Nasir. It's process, it's protocols, it's certain things. So I'm just saying, let's start to elevate and uplift the people from our hometown, the people that are making moves, uplift them. Because what's usually happening right now, maybe they want to help. Maybe the government of Dominica want to reach out to me, and maybe they don't know how. Or maybe the people that are put in place, maybe, I mean, I cannot say that, but what I'm saying, where I'm at right now in the music industry, you cannot go higher. You cannot ask me. You gotta come to me. Like, not to just say that, But where I'm at right now, I mean, the powers that be come to me. You feel me? So I mean, not saying in the music industry, but when you're dealing with money and you're dealing with changes of community and you're dealing with hip hop and you're dealing with what the hip hop has done, you have to be very, very mindful on a whole political. It's a whole political game with it. It's a whole different thing with it. So booyah music, Caribbean music, Cardas music, government of Dominica, please work with the right set of people so that we can protect the intellectual property that's coming out of home.
Well,
Because mm,
what I was going to say to you is the good news is they listen, the powers that be listen to all our programs on Q95. So they're listening. And I know the press secretary knows how to get into my inbox because she's reached out to me, not for the right reasons. So if they're interested in creating opportunities for our Dominican musicians, again, as we're seeing, the doors are closing for opportunities to go outside. Even today, I read an article that says Antiguan musicians' U.S. visa revocation hit top Antiguan entertainers. So what that's saying is, and they had the nerve to ask these guys to come to Barbados so they could revoke their visas. I mean, who's going to pay for a flight to go get your visa revoked? I don't know. I wouldn't. So as we're seeing the doors closing for these opportunities to go to the US, who knows? Some of our musicians may have their visas right now, but when it expires, what are they going to do? So that is one of the reasons we're having this conversation, because how can they generate revenue from their music by not even having to go outside, go to the US, the UK to perform, because those opportunities appear that they're going to be revoked in the not too distant future. So that is why we have to look towards where do the opportunities lie now.
I mean, look at how many people come to the World Queer Music Festival. If it's protected, it's going to make a lot of money.
Mm-hmm.
We are giving out a lot of information through IP that's for free,
Mm-hmm.
and other people are benefiting from it. So I'm just saying, like, let's protect even your show. You put in a lot of work on Q95. I mean, you're doing a lot of work. I mean, you're out there doing what you do. By the end of the day, is your content, is your show being protected?
I need to talk to you, but I can't afford your fees, Chester. I've seen your fees.
I mean, I'm not saying it's not. Hey, I'm here to work. Listen, I'm put this way. Mark Murray knows me really well. I'm open to work with him. I've worked with him before in the Olympics. Like I worked with Matt Marlon, SAT. When I was in Dominica, my office was at the SAT building. So I'm just saying I'm open, to work with a lot of people. I'm not, you have to give.
Mm-hmm.
You cannot keep everything in. You have to give out. And right now, where I'm at in the position I'm at right now, I'm giving, I'm receiving, but I'm also giving. Because at the end of the day, somebody's gonna hear me. Somebody's gonna hear. I can show you better than tell you. And for all you Dominicans out there, all you Caribbean people, or even not even the Caribbean people, let me just set the bar. If you're in the music industry, you have to code your music. If you're gonna put your music on any platform, it has to be coded. If it's not coded, you're gonna lose a lot of money. It's gonna be flagged. If you wanna try yourself, what you do is you copy and paste your song that you have, your barcode, you drop it in Google. If it comes up with nothing under it, then hey, you're not getting paid. Like, you're not. It's like the
Yes.
song is them.
So I know you're super busy, but for someone like my friend Yannick, who's looking for a coder, is there any recommendations? I don't think he can afford you, Chester. So do you have any recommendations for someone who's getting started?
Okay. Well, Yannick, this I'm saying. Yannick needs to reach out. We have an office, and I have code a lot of music coming out of Dominica. I am working with some people from Dominica right now. Rasmo that passed away. Rest in peace to him. I was working on his album before he passed away.
Wow.
You know, like I said, there are a few people that I have worked with from Dominica right now that are making money, but they don't really talk about it. They just, you know, some people make the moves and they move quiet. But I'm just saying we have an opportunity right now to create. It's already created already. We just need to put it in place. So to the government of Dominica, to the people at place that be, just be open-minded. And there are changes. Let's not leave money on the table anymore. Let's protect the intellectual property that's coming out of not only Dominica, but from the diaspora and the Caribbean.
Yeah, and I'm happy you mentioned your business in Dominica because you do have a branch of Noda Codes in Dominica. So tell us how that is going because I know when we spoke, you said that there were some challenges that you were experiencing with working with some of our local artists. So and the reason we share on this is not to bash anybody, not to negatively criticize anyone, but this is constructive criticism
Okay.
because this we want to talk about what our Dominican artists need to do better in order to earn money on their creation. So tell us some of the challenges that you've experienced with working with Dominicans.
First thing I have to say is a lot of Dominicans, they, why you're so afraid? Don't be afraid. It's okay. Like things happen. People make mistakes. It's okay. Be open-minded. You have to, if somebody is trying to help you and somebody is trying to teach you, then give them the opportunity, you know, and be open-minded to learn. Don't be like somebody that, oh, let me come, okay, let me put it this way. I'm not a lawyer, you know, but I know Simon is a lawyer. Let me go and see Simon. Well, Simon do that for me now. Simon,
For
you can do it,
free.
you know.
For
But
free.
this is the complex we need to, we cannot change that, but I'm just saying that we need to work a little bit more in cohesive and respect everybody's task. If you are who you are, then be who you are. But if you're not that person, don't pretend that you are. Or if you can help that person, try to help. Like if Simone, she have a PhD, she do what she do, I'm gonna go to her because she have experience in this. If you're not a lawyer that studies accidental, why am I gonna go to you, but you don't do accidental, but you're a lawyer? It's okay. It's okay. It's gonna cause problems. So I'm just saying to the powers that be, every island, every country has IP, money, education, music is there for that. It's what it is. For all the drawbacks that's happening with artists from Dominica, one is work with a great team. Two is stop trying to go behind people's back. When you bring to a situation, don't try to double back. Work with the people that bring you into the door. A lot of people that in Dominica experience that I went through, I help a lot of musicians in Dominica. I brought them a lot of places in Dominica. And when I turn my back and I leave the door, I would get a phone call like, "Hey man, the guy you introduced me to, you know, he's here." And I'm like, "How I mean he's here? What is he doing here?" "Oh well, you know, he did it." And I'm like, "Well, you know what? Does he understand what you do? Does he understand there's a price in the studio? Does he understand that certain things?" By the end of the day, we coming from a humble place. We opportunity is a thing that when it comes knocking, everybody jumps and move fast. But the drawbacks of being back home is you have to follow the process. You have to deal with the people. If you're a doctor, if I'm sick, bad, I go to a doctor or herbalist. If I need to fix my car or I need to change my brakes, if I can change my brakes, I change my brakes. But I'm gonna go to the mechanic that because he knows what to do. So this is the problem we have down there. Start working with the people that knows what they're doing. Because I've heard conferences, I've sit down and heard conferences, and in the last conferences, the music industry in Dominica, and I'm just like why didn't get an invite? Like, okay, who these people? These people, and I'm like, okay, well, if you're a musician and you're talking about music, I'm gonna pull your music. Let me see if you're doing everything right. And I'll be upfront with you, 75% of all their work is dormant. Don't talk about something and your work is dormant. I can pull your work. I can show your work. Everything that I'm doing, I can say it and I can show it. So I'm just saying here, be very open-minded. Be open-minded because Dominica Bouillon music is just coming to a peak. Once it get where it gets, trust me, it's gonna be. Then you're really gonna be like, we shoulda, woulda, coulda.
And that's the story. That's the story of Dominica, right? Shoulda, woulda, coulda.
So I'm just saying no. Even though they don't do it, I'm just gonna be upfront with you because I'm not a person that sit back and wait on people. I don't do that. You feel me? I'm a trendsetter all day long. This is me. I'm gonna make a way. That's just me. So if the powers that be don't do what they're supposed to do, it's still going to happen because that's just how the universe works. There's going to be a time for certain things to happen. It's going to happen. But in the meantime, we're going to put things in place. So whenever that time comes around, whatever is coming up from Dominica, the Caribbean, the people that overstand the music industry, then they can be protected and receive their money.
Yeah, and thank you, Dr. C. And one of the things we talked about, I'm not sure if you still are able to do so, we talked about doing a real-time forensic on a particular song. Is that something you want to try? We don't want to do it on anybody.
What time is it? What time is it right now?
It's 9:34. How much time would you need?
Okay, you pick an artist and give me the screen.
Okay, I'm gonna say Jeff Joe Mideba.
Jeff Joe. Okay, so put in the chat. Okay, you know what? What about you do it? I'll tell you where to go. Take your screen. Let's take your screen. Take your screen and let's put Jeff Joe. Go to YouTube and copy and paste his
okay,
sound.
hold on. So do you want me to get the song? You want me to look up the song?
Yes. I'm just going to tell you what we're doing. Let's do countdown. 5 minutes, okay? I'm gonna tell you. Take the screen which you already have already, and I'm gonna give you a few browser, okay, to look up. So let's look up Jeff Joe's and the song. Go to YouTube and put his song in YouTube, please.
Jeff Joe Mideba. I found it.
All right. When you found the song, I want you to copy and paste that Jeff Joe Mideba.
Copy the URL.
Yes, the whole song, not the URL, the song, like the song.
Oh, wait, but it's on YouTube. So hold on, it's gonna probably
Hi
start
guys,
playing.
I'm going to test my new Zoom scope today.
Hold on a second, okay? Let me get past this commercial.
Copy and paste it quick because at the time it's 8:35. Countdown. Let's do.
So what am I copying from the share where it says share?
No, copy and paste his name, Jeff Jones, and the name of the title of the song.
Oh, okay. So take his name, Jeff Joe Mideba.
And I want you to open a browser.
And
I want you to put Sound Exchange. Sound Exchange is the company that pays out mechanical royalties.
Is that in Google? Put Sound Exchange.
Sound Exchange, quick.
It's very quick. Sound Exchange.
Click on Sound Exchange.
Okay, hold on. So guys, follow along, okay? Sound Exchange. Yannick, you taking notes? I'm like Yannick's auntie.
Because time right now, when you click on Sound Exchange, it came up with some guy. Scroll down. You're gonna see US in circle. Click on that. You're gonna see ISRC. Click on it. Scroll down.
Hold on. You're going too fast. I might have to just take notes. So it says, hold on, let me share the screen. So guys, listen attentively. If you're listening on the radio, I'm gonna share.
Everybody in Dominica can do that. It's fun.
I know it doesn't seem that complicated, but hold on, guys. Let me share the screen so you guys can see what we're doing. And if you're listening on the radio, we just went to exchange.com. And where do you want me to go? I'm scrolling down.
Scroll down.
Scroll down.
Scroll down. Right there. Stop right there. ISRC search. Click.
Hold on. Let's see if it'll work.
It's going to open up another screen.
Oh, no, it didn't.
No, click on Explore. Explore.
Oh, Explore. Okay. So, guys, if you're watching, pay close attention.
Artist Jeff Joe.
And then the song is Mideba.
Yes, for the title.
All right. So, guys, are you paying attention? So, title Mideba. Paste.
Put search.
And then search. Oh, this is fascinating, Chester. Oh, it comes up.
Oh,
Jeff
I did it.
Joe, Deba.
Right. I
Yeah.
want you to put show release. Click on show release on the top.
Oh, hold on, you're going
Show
too fast.
Yes, show release.
Wait. Oh,
Release. Just turn the knob. Just turn the knob. Right there. Show
Right.
release. Right there. Down. Right there. Yep. It's gonna show the release. Click on it. Like go to your left.
to the
right.
oh, okay, here.
Yes. So click on show release. Just show release. Yeah. Click on show release. It's gonna open it bigger if you open it. Show release. No. That's export. Go down.
You know what? That's why you should have done it on your screen, Chester. I see. Show release.
Right.
Okay. All right, guys, bear with us.
Right. Okay, this one you do for me. I want everybody in the crowd to take USHM 823. I want you to take that and copy and paste that. And you see where it says Caribbean label, Caribbean partners, best of. The release is best of, the duration. That's considered the metadata. You see the UPC code 3483901026923.
Right.
I want you to copy and paste the UPC code. Open another browser. Just another browser. We're gonna come back to this. And I want you to drop it in Google. If a blue devil comes up, that means that there's a problem. Scroll down. Best of Jeff Jones. Go down. You see the name come with the album, Rock My Soul, Jeff Jones. You see Best of Jeff. That means that it came up on the album. So go back to ISRC. Click on US, copy and paste USHM. Copy and paste it and go back to Google. Go back to the browser. And drop it in Google.
Oh, that's not good, right?
Yeah, that means that it's dormant.
Oh, wow.
So if Joe was trying to get money, that money is stuck in royalties.
Wow. So let's stay there for a minute because this is so educational, Dr. C. And again, guys, I know a lot of us are listening on the radio, so you cannot see the screens. But if you are passionate, if you know of a musician, you yourself, you're a musician, and you want to know if your music is registered correctly so you can earn money from your music, you can always go back and check the replay of this episode by going on YouTube and go on Q95 FM radio on YouTube. If you don't know how to do so, a young person in your family knows how to do this. And you can click the episode for July 22nd, 2026. Or if you're on Facebook, you can always go back to Q95 FM radio or push past 10 because this is such valuable information. And I want you to see the steps that we just took in terms of trying to see if that particular song of Jeff Joe is what Dr. C likes to call dormant, which means that is what, not earning revenue. Dr. C, is that what you're saying?
Well, not earning revenue plus the name. His name, his product description should come under the codes. You see, like when we did the UPC code, the album cover came up.
Right.
That means that it shows that he has ownership. There's somebody, a name, a product. It shows something. Right. But when we drop the other code into this browser, it shows it's dormant. So think of it like this: if I'm an accounts department and I'm paying out money on a product, if there's problems with the codes, the accounts department is not going to pay out on a dormant code. So here comes black box money. The money sits. So think of a whole bunch of people out there putting music out there, and their songs are not coded. It goes into the library. It is what it is. Only a fraction is getting paid. The rest just go to limbo, making money out there. So a lot of my clients come to me, and that's one of the reasons why I created a forensic company. We go deep into forensic work where we can pull our artists and show everything about them. Their name, their last name, the studio, everything in real time, even from the number part. It's a number game. So not just putting out a song out there. Just so many things are coming in. But I'm not saying certain things we are going to put in place that's going to be needed, not only for the Caribbean, but for just across the board. Because the way they do certain things in the United States, the way they do certain things in Africa, like right now, we have a meetings with the diaspora in Africa to enhance trademark, copyrights, IP, digital. The Caribbean needs that right now. Jamaica is having a lot of issues with copyright and trademarks and mechanicals right now. Like, don't think because you see a lot of artists that are doing a lot of their businesses, their internal business is not done properly. I mean, a lot of them are my clients. I mean, I know that. So I'm not saying right now we have an opportunity with somebody from me who actually got blessed and you know, I mean, it is what it is to be in that position. And again, I am thankful to be in that position. I'm just saying right now we have to protect the intellectual property because Buyo come on my desk all the time. A lot of music comes to my desk all the time. You feel me? We can talk about budget breakdown. We can talk about tours. We can talk about mechanicals. We can talk about publishing. There's so many different other music aspects that we can talk about that needs to be enlightened, just not only coming from the diaspora, but coming from, I would say, Dominica.
So this was fascinating. This was completely fascinating, right? But if I was someone from Jeff Joe's estate, let's say, right, and we got to that page where, you know, the little blue man and this is bad news, is there something I can do? Is there something that can be done at this point, considering now that he's no longer with us, he's a blessed memory? Is there something that can be done to put in the metadata, get the coding done right so that his family can receive residual income, or is it the ship has sailed?
No, the ship never sailed. I'm working on a client right now, Angie Stone.
Oh,
that's one
that name sounds familiar.
Thank you, I actually was the one, Worley, if you know, listening, and I'm going to say it because I'm on paper, so it's okay. I built the estate, the music part of the estate. And when you're doing certain things pertaining to somebody who passed away, it goes into a probate. And there comes a certain documentation that needs to be filed. There's certain documentation that needs to be put in the right way. So let's say if Jeff Jones had any in music out there so many years, his death certificate has to be shown. Now it's considered an estate. So the estate has to be set up a certain way where whatever is owned by Jeff Jones can be claimed. But if that paperwork is not done properly, if that stuff is not put in the right way, then it's like a legacy again going out the door. Lack of knowledge, lack of education, and also changing in the legal system. So if the legal system in the Caribbean don't understand, or even the judges, some of them have to open their mind and understand the changes in the IP. If they don't understand it, or if they don't take the CLE, like I said, they're not going to be vast on what's going on. It's just going to be going on consistency. But again, so music business in the Caribbean is a business, it's a money making. It helps a lot of the economy growth. You may not see the money, but trust me, it plays a part. It just certain areas it goes to, and certain people just manage it.
Yeah.
For
And I think we need a mindset change as well, because I think for so many years, our musicians have thought about making money on their music by making a song, performing it in Dominica, going overseas to do the performances. But now we're seeing that you can make a lot of money from just registering your music correctly and getting the residuals from all the live streams, because you mentioned all the streams on YouTube, but yet folks haven't figured out how to make the money from these opportunities. So I think it has to also do with a mindset shift. What do you think?
Yes, but changing a mindset comes with the diversion. And you cannot just because then even with our people of Dominica, the Caribbean, it's you cannot just
Yeah.
it's something that has it takes time.
Yep.
You feel me? And putting things in places where they can see they're making money, they can see that they've been protected, they can see that there's an opportunity where there's hope. See, we brought back that word again,
Yep.
hope.
Yep.
There is hope. It's just we need to put things in place that is there. It's there. You're just not aware that is going on. And other people are using our intellectual property and making a lot of money. And that needs to stop. It needs to stop at some point.
Yeah, so I want to jump in the Facebook Live because we have so many questions. But Dr. C, the time runs out very quickly with us. So this has been a fascinating conversation. And again, thank you for the exclusive. And if you're interested in knowing Dr. C's 5-point service plan, he does ISRC codes, distribution services, consulting, merchandising and royalties, assistance for artists, record labels, and distributors through his company, Links Media. So let's see, Wilkins also has a branch of Links Media operating in Dominica. So we talked about that as well. So in the private chat area, Dr. C, drop your email or any contact information because the time is running by quickly. I'm sure we have some questions on the Facebook Live for you. And our friend Charlene White Christian is here and she says, so proud of you, Chester. So Charlene, thank you for being here. I think Charlene was in Fantapan with us, right?
Yeah, you know what's so crazy? That's one of my best teacher. That's one of my best teachers.
Oh, she taught you?
Yes, a French teacher, my best, and then we became very, close friends.
Oh,
Big up to Mali, her husband, their daughter. Miss White is let me just put it this way: if you're from Dominica and you don't know Miss White, you got a problem. So I'm gonna say Miss White. She was somebody that inspired me. It was somebody that always tell me keep my head up. Even going to Goodwood School, I had my challenges. I know you going to convent, you had the challenges too. But I'm just saying she was one of the persons that always keep me like, Chester, stay focused. Chester, stay focused. Always there. So big up to her. And Goodwood School, I must say big up to Goodwood School. Big up to my fellow classmates. You hear me? I don't say it like that. But to my classmates, be very open-minded and working together as a team. When you work together, you can build a lot if you have an open mind. Goodwood School, SMA, grammar school, if you're still around, Portsmouth, all them schools don't only depend on the government. You feel me? Or everybody who left Goodwood School and who are out there, like I'm gonna put this. There should be no reason why SMA, Goodwood School, all the other schools with people who left and went overseas, there should be non-profit set up. There should be money put in place for education and scholarship. Like I'm a anonymous donor, okay? In Dominica.
Anonymous donor.
Like I don't even say nothing. Because at the end of the day, what you don't want is the worst for the worst. Because you don't want to be like doing certain things and be like, hey, Chester Wilkins, Dr. Wilkins do this, or Dr. Wilkins do that. No. Most of the things that I do is very quiet. Like I respect my mom. She does a lot of things for, every Christmas, every holidays. She helps, the unfortunate. You know what I mean? It's so many things that we do that we don't even really talk about. You know what I mean? At the end of the day, why? If you're genuine and you're a great person, like you said, you're gonna get your blessings. What is for you? So my blessings on helping the people in the music industry, and I have, and I'm still going to. This came from me helping people. Helping people. The people that I'm helping right now are the ones that are making decisions. I am on the boards. It took a long time to get there, but at the end of the day, me being there now, why not help out people from the Caribbean? Why not help out people in Bouillon? Why not help out Jeff Jones? Why not help out Nasir Fontaine? Why not help out? Because there were times that I always wanted to help those people, and I could not help them because of people that were to be things that, like, how can you be your music big? How can you be out there from Dominica and we getting so many blocks? So I'm just saying, now is the time to the attorneys out there. If you're an entertainment attorney from Dominica or you're studying entertainment law, please be mindful. To the government of Dominica, we love you all. Diaspora do love you all. To the others, we love you all too. We just say now it's time for us to protect our intellectual property so that we can enhance better education, enhance the economy better. Because at the end of the day, I mean, there's so much that we can do. Put things in place so that we're not out there begging. Stop the begging.
Yep.
If things are in place, then there will be a balance. But because, again, like I said, you can only do so much. If you don't have the right set of people in the right set of places, rest in peace, Mr. Lambert. I stop Eddie Lambert all the time. He was one of the people that always used to tell me, Mr. Wilkins, you need to come home. And I'm like, rest in peace to, what's his name again? I call him Doctor. He did the flag.
Alwyn Bully, Dr. Alwyn Bully.
Dr. Alwyn Bully. I mean, I still have long discussions with him. I mean, and I worked with him at the World Queers Music Festival. Me being back home, my experience was great. I introduced water to the World Queers Music Festival. Everybody thought I was crazy. I was selling, 2 bottles of water at the World Queers Music Festival for $5. I put water, different thing of water in Carnival, just to show people the importance of the water. And people still in Dominica like, how are you selling water? And we can go by the pipe and get water. And I'm like, no, it's the principle of it, the brand. And guess what? What is right now one of the biggest commodity right now in the world?
Water.
Sure. Do you know right now all the AI and everything? Where you think that stuff works under? Water. H2O.
You're right.
Yeah. And what is one of the biggest one of the biggest resources in Dominica?
Water. That is going to waste by flowing into the ocean all day, every day. But Chester, I'm so happy you mentioned that, because yes, kudos to Charlene. Well, let me say Miss White, because she was a teacher, so she might come from me. So Miss White, thank you so much for being an inspiration and for recognizing the talent and the skills of Chester. And I'm sure you did so for your other students. And she was the one when I posted the Facebook flyer. And I said, from a boy from Point Michelle to international executive in music. And she said, and don't forget, he was from Goodwill School. And that is what it shows us. It doesn't matter where you come from. It doesn't matter where you come from. You can come from Goodwill School. You can come from SMA. You can come from community high school. It doesn't matter where you come from. It's what you do with that opportunity to learn and to benefit yourself, and how you use that opportunity to spread your wings, take all the no's, take all the rejections. And I went through that too, because I've recently entered the field of being a behavior change specialist. And for years, people were saying no, and they didn't recognize what I was trying to do. And within the last year and a half, I've had 6 opportunities to join organizations that said, yes, we see your vision, we align with your vision, welcome aboard. So you just have, it's part of the process to go through rejection. But we're running out of time, and we do have questions on the Facebook Live. So Carl wants to know, he says, great program. I would like to ask Dr. Wilkins, if an old school artist like myself with old recorded music, how can I code all the music with my current music? You have an answer for him on that?
That's easy. Tell him go get his ISRC.us.org. But every country has an ISRC. Dominica don't have one. Jamaica has one. But like I say, according to the type of music he has. But the answer to that is we can give him the information. or we can walk him through it to get it done. Yes, it can be done. The old and the new can be done. It's okay.
Yes.
You can overlap it, so it
Yeah,
can be done.
and put your contact in the private chat area so I can share it because we're running out of time as always. So let me take a few more comments before we head out. Philson, the music industry world has evolved, also copyright and the Library of Congress. Yannick, this is true. Some artists just see music as a way to make quick dollar, right? Very true. Let me take, Alvin says, Simone, you're correct. Artists in Dominica sees their music as a talent that is being used and not seen as a business by the artist. Also, the lack of knowledge, training, and information leads to a dilemma. So let's take from some folks we haven't heard. Marian Banger. Yes, Banger is here. So he's a big music producer here in Atlanta. So thank you for being here, Banger. Blessings, everyone. You guys should connect. You know, this program is all about strategic alliances. So I like to connect people. You know, recently I connected you with Gordon Henderson, who is also very big on the business of music. So I hope something comes from that. And I will also connect you with Obanga if you don't know him already. He's very big in music production. Alvin says, would Dr. Wilkins be prepared to mount a workshop in Dominica with the artists to point them in the right direction? And that is a question that actually came to mind. Have you tried doing maybe a workshop with Dominican musicians?
No, the last workshop I did was Trinidad and Tobago. That was the last big workshop I did. You know, they called me from Trinidad. They paid me a lot of money to do it. So I'm just saying, like, my expertise and me doing a workshop in Dominica, I'm open to do a workshop. I'm open to actually, why not? It's home. I mean, why not? I mean, sometimes I don't really look for money coming out from home. I do it all out of the love. But with all the love, I also show them that, you know, the lights still got to be paid. You know, the saying it like that, but you have to respect everybody's craft. So they can set up a workshop, or we can set up a workshop. And actually, I have set up things in Dominica. The last stuff they had in Dominica, Bernie Lawrence was in Dominica. I set that up, but again, it's different when the powers to be are not in the right room. So if they're in the right room, it's like boom. But again, proper preparation prevents. You know what I mean? If you do your stuff right, it will happen. So I'm looking forward to do a huge summit. You know, I'm open for it. When you're ready for that, I'm definitely open for it because I'm doing summits right now. I'm actually going to be in Vegas. I speak on Friday in Vegas coming up. I have a huge summit in Friday. I speak. I mean, my calendar right now is time to get back filled because the royalties and the mechanicals and the metadata has caused a huge talk in the music industry right now, where record label companies are, thinking about millions of dollars are being, you feel me? So a lot of people are starting to be aware. They sell a lot of catalogs. So I'm recording a lot of catalogs that they're selling right now. We're doing catalogs for $300 million. We're doing 10 million catalogs. I'm talking about millions, real estate, this is real money, you know. So, but the music industry do make a lot of money. And Dominican artists, please, we've wasted a lot of time. We've wasted a lot of time from intellectual property. Mac Murray, you've done a lot of great work. You know, continue doing what you've been doing. You feel me? I'm just saying now it's time to just look at from an IP perspective, because there's analog and there's digital. Digital is a lot of money.
Yeah.
But the way you can receive it, you gotta protect it.
Yeah, and what I did, I put your email address in the comment section so folks can reach out to you. I think that would be wonderful because I know Alvin is part of the St. Mary's Academy Foundation. So maybe you can link with him and other schools in Dominica to do that youth summit, which is so needed. So Eilith Peltier is here. She says, our artists are losing out big time. Branding is everything. And if the brand is not protected, we will lose millions and we will lose the brand. And Philson wants you to know he learned so much from you. Yannick, I'm very happy to know that there is a lot I did not know about music when it comes to protecting music that I do know about now. So excellent. So happy that we did this. And Philson is saying hi to Obanga. So Obanga, take his email address so you guys can link up, because we have to have all hands on deck. So Dr. C, our time has come and gone. Your final words. Thank you so much again for this exclusive interview and for bringing all your knowledge to the table. So your final words as we wind down for the evening.
My final words is I definitely want to thank the Most High, thank in my family, big up to my mom, Melvina. Do your thing, Mr. Boye, do your thing. Big up to Point Michelle. Big up to Dominica. Big up to the Prime Minister doing this thing. Big up to the other party. All of you are doing what you do. Big up to Dominica. And if you're somebody and you love yourself and you're doing something good, big up yourself within the Most High. You feel me? There's no big you, there's no little you, and we're open to work with everybody. And me going out saying is, I love you. Love. I'm going to say it again. We need to start loving each other again. We need love back in the world. Yes. Thank you so much.
Yes.
And there'll be many more interviews, many more knowledge teaching, and let's build teamwork.
Yeah, absolutely. And we can even do a virtual workshop at some point so we can connect people from around the world. But guys, thank you for being here. Dr. C, thank you. Lambi, showing everyone who made this possible. Thank you so much for being here. The guys in the audience, especially in the Facebook Live, those of us who are listening attentively on the radio, thank you so much for listening to another episode of Roots Connections on Q. I am your host, Dr. Simone, and we had Dr. Chester Wilkins, and we were talking about why even the best musicians and artists continue to lose thousands of dollars and what can be done about it. And don't forget, you can catch the replay by going to YouTube and looking up Q95 FM radio, or you can go on Facebook and look up Q95 FM radio or Push Past 10 for more information. If you as well are doing something important to help move Dominica or people forward, I would love to hear from you. And I want to be thankful and grateful to everyone who continues to reach out. My email address again is pushpast10@gmail.com, pushpast10@gmail.com. I look forward to continuing this journey of harnessing the power of technology, social media, international radio, as we leverage the skills and expertise of our Caribbean brothers and sisters around the world for the sustainable development of Dominica and our people, and again, creating the strategic alliances for the benefit of our people and our region. So until next time, this was wonderful. Have yourself a wonderful rest of the week and pleasant night. Good evening, good night. Until next time, take care. Thank you, Dr. C. I'll talk to you soon.
Bless.
Thank you, Lambi. Bye, guys.
Woo! I feel that was a lot.
Roots Connections on Q, 8 p.m. to 10 p.m. every other Wednesday on Q95, the big station. Dominicans journey beyond our shores for decades in search of economic opportunities and educational advancement. Many are ready to give back to their cherished nature island. Welcome to Roots Connections on Q. Join Dr. Simone Mathieu